Before I begin my remarks, please join me in thanking faculty brass for the rousing fanfare. Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. I'm Amit Chakma, president of this great university. Thank you very much for being with us to celebrate our homecoming, of course, but more importantly, to join us as we open this wonderful renovated facility that is going to house our faculty of music. First, I'd like to take a moment to acknowledge that this building and Western's beautiful campus are situated on the traditional territories of several First Nations people, including the Anishinaabe, the Haudenosaunee, the Lenape, and the Atawandan people, all of whom have long-standing histories with the land in southwestern Ontario and London. There are 3 First Nations communities in close proximity to our university, including the Chippewa of the Thames First Nation, the Oneida Nation of the Thames, and the Munsee Delaware Nation. And in the region of southwestern Ontario, there are 11 First Nations communities, as well as a growing Indigenous urban population. At Western, we value our relationships with our First Nations communities, and we recognize the important knowledge and contributions that Indigenous people add to the life of our campus. Again, welcome everyone. I'm so pleased that you could join us at this wonderful time of homecoming, and of course, more specifically, to celebrate the opening of this renovated new space. Before I go on, I'd like to especially welcome President Emeritus Paul Davenport. Paul, you are somewhere here. Apart from being a very distinguished president, Paul was a strong champion of arts and music on our campus, and in fact, a neighboring theater is named after Paul Davenport. So Paul, welcome. This building that we are renovating originally was built in 1972 with the expectation of housing 400 to 450 students. Today, like the rest of the campus, today the Don Wright Faculty of Music has approximately 650 students and is one of the finest music schools in the country. The Don Wright Faculty of Music is an important part of Western's campus and indeed the London community. Over 350 performances, all open to public, occur in our halls each year and include student, faculty, and guest artists. This offering represents a value added to the London community by the faculty, of course, enriches the academic life of our university. One community engagement program includes the New Horizon Band, which involves 200 adults who come to learn a wind band instrument and play in one of our 5 concert bands. Self-selected members join to form an international touring ensemble. 7 tours have been completed, and an 8th one is planned for 2019. So turning to the university and the campaign that resulted in the renovation of the space, we named it the Extraordinary Campaign because we had extraordinary ambitions for our university. Our campaign chair, Jeff Beatty, announced yesterday that we exceeded our $750 million goal and raised $805 million plus during this period. One of the goals of our campaign is to ensure the construction of world-class facilities, and these new buildings and renovated space both are wonderful examples of such ambitious plan. The renovated and newly constructed building boasts studios, classrooms, practice rooms, seminar rooms, and rehearsal spaces, an early music ensemble suite and large percussion suite and a 48-seat recital hall, and of course, the new Van Coster Hall. All those activities do not take place in vacuum. Leaders make a difference. Small group of people work tirelessly to ensure that this building is exactly what our student needed. And that leadership begins with our fearless leader, Dean Betty Anne Younker, that I'll introduce a little bit later, former deans Bob Wood and Jeff Stokes, as well as our colleagues from facilities management, Fred Zenson and Mike DeYeger, together with John Nicholson from Nicholson Sheffield Architects, helped bring this vision to life. I'd like all the individuals that I have named, please stand and be recognized. Thank you for your vision, for your enthusiasm and commitment to this very exciting project. Now it is my pleasure to introduce Dean Betty Anne Younker, Dean of the Faculty Don Wright Faculty of Music. As I mentioned, Betty Anne has been the champion for this project, who led the group of individuals that I have named and many others whom I have not named, but it is Betty Anne's vision that brought the whole thing together. So Betty Anne, on behalf of the university, alumni, students, and the broader community, thank you very much for your leadership, for your vision, and thank you to your team. So we have gifts for all the individuals that I have named, but I would like to make a special presentation to you on behalf of all of us at Western. So do you please come forward so that
Thank you, President Chakma, for your greetings and being with us for our celebration. Also to Andy Reimark, our most recent provost. I think he's 2 months into the job now. I understand, President Chakma, that you are completely booked this weekend and will be leaving immediately at the close of the official opening, if not before. I also want to mention that we do have a photographer at the back of the hall capturing moments of our celebration. While we have class pictures on our walls dating from 1966 and many notable alums who studied music before 1966, some of whom are here today, 2018 marks the 50th anniversaries of being a faculty of music. The growth from being a conservatory with the addition of a music teachers college to a college of music housed in the Faculty of Arts and Science included an expansion of programs across the undergraduate and graduate spectrum of degrees. One consistent value across the growth has been the faculty's commitment to culture across campus and the London community. Without art, our capacity to articulate our subjectivity, strengthen our moral and ethical reasoning through inquiry, and to be empathetic, core aspects of being human, would not be possible. Ensuring that we have spaces to educate those aspects of our humanness is one responsibility of a university. Such a project would not have been possible without a team of players who had the vision, the insights, and the imagination. Dr. Chakma has already made note of some of those members. Fred Jansen and Mike DeJager, our project managers, and other people from Lynn Logan's shop, thank you. As well, I need to thank my two partners in wonderment, Bob Wood and Jeff Stokes. From conversations about what might be possible to the nitty-gritty of transforming temporary spaces to house faculty and students, to thinking through details of minutia while arguing and convincing and insisting on nothing else but the very best, they provided valuable insights and support. Our architect, John Nicholson, embodies the finest quality of an architect. That is, one who listens and gets to know the client, the needs, the desires, and the reasons for. John, you imagine spaces in ways that are allowing those who literally live in this building to achieve their goals as artists, scholars, and teachers. And of course, to Ruben Cheladora of IPB, the former Provost, Janice Deacon, and President Chakma, thank you. Celebrations bring people together, and we are fortunate to have Dr. Adrian Pajanka at this official opening. Dr. Pajanka, through her artistry, allowed us to enter spaces of humanness yesterday during her Friday at 12:30 recital. We've kept her busy. She did master classes yesterday and today. We have members of the Don Wright family, Chris Wright, grandson, and Pamela Wright, granddaughter. Chris was also here for the groundbreaking, and it's wonderful to have them here again today. We have members from Daryl Johnson's family who came from Phoenix, Denver, and Chicago. Daryl Johnson, we have just celebrated his legacy as a choral conductor who has since passed on. His son Merrill is here, his daughter Gail is here, his wife Maria is here, and granddaughter Erin, who works at the Chicago Lyric. The traditions continue. And of course, Dr. Paul Davenport, former president, who provided greetings last night at our wind ensemble and symphonic band concert in the Paul Davenport Theater. It is indeed wonderful to have all of you here, plus others. To the many donors who have supported this building campaign, to those who have contributed to one of the 17 named spaces, all of whom are listed in the program, thank you. Without your vision, commitment to the arts, and support, we would not have the level of quality which is experienced every day in this space. Finally, to the faculty and staff members and students, you have lived through a construction zone. You have lived in a construction zone, literally, have set up shop in multiple places to continue to teach and learn, all with a smile and breadth of understanding. Without your patience and humor, the process would be much more challenging. And for this weekend's festivities, I thank those staff members who have once again exceeded expectations to get things done and make things happen. Of course, it would not be a celebration in a Faculty of Music without music. And to that end, I do want to thank James McKay, composer of the brass fanfare, has offered as a gift to thanks for 21 years of teaching and conducting here in the faculty and serving as chair of the Music Performance Studies. And he's done this in memory of his daughter Tashi, who died in 2014. Due to family illness, Jim could not be with us today. But to the Musica Quinta, our faculty brass quintet, thank you for their performance. Our next 4 performers are all in our doctoral program in performance here at Western, and I cannot think of a better time to highlight the artistry of our students. At this time, I invite Heidi Wall to bring Franz Liszt Widmung Liebeslied to life. Following Heidi, Frangel Lopez Cesena will play a fugue for solo violin. Thank you very much. Thank you to Heidi and Frangel. I now invite John Nicholson, our listening architect, to the podium to say a few words.
We don't often get asked to do this. This is a real treat. Our office has been lucky enough to have worked with the Don Wright Faculty of Music and Western since 2005. We've been working on this project for 7 years. We've worked with 2 deans, 3 project managers, 3 general contractors, 6 directors of physical plant, and we thank them all. A music school is an extraordinarily complicated building to design and to build. It takes a great team to get it done, and I would like to acknowledge our team. Brian Barron of ECS developed the programming. Our acoustic engineer was John O'Keefe of Air Acoustics. Engineers included Hastings and Aces, Turley and Bissett, Zahn, Development Engineering. Theatre and media consultants were Navita Techney. Quantity surveyors Marshall Murray, and principal players from our office were my partner Gerald Gallagher and Rick Story. My thanks to the faculty, staff, and the students on the sector planning committee who helped define the design. A special thanks to Dean Betty Anne, who wisely asked past deans, Bob Wood and Jeff Stokes, as you've just heard, to join her on the building committee, and I'm grateful to them for their hard work and expertise. I also thank Western's project managers Fred Jansen and Mike DeJager and George Kupti and of course the contractors, Tonda and Heyman Construction. It was suggested, rather unusually, that I touch on the ideas behind the design approach for the school, and, even more unusually, the reasons that I wanted to work on the project in the first place. To design any building at Western is a privilege, and to my mind, a responsibility. I believe strongly in a contextual architecture that is responsive to place. Is there a more distinguished environment in which to build in London than this campus? I grew up as a neighbor to the old music school down at King's. I went to school at Western. It inspires you to work here. As to our approach, it all starts by listening to the needs of the university, the faculty, the staff, the students, and listening again and again. We paid serious attention to the site and the budget as boundaries for our work, and we learned from our project team. We design buildings from the inside out, and then from the outside in. So let's explore it that way. In designing the inside, we worked with the architectural program of needs and wants to explore, alter, and discover relationships between uses and rooms. We paid particular attention to acoustics, how sound works, reflects, is enhanced, altered, how is it kept out, how is it kept in. Our design response has thread your music school into renovations in Talbot College, through a new rehearsal building, into a demolished and renovated old music building with new additions such as this hall and new public spaces. We knit this together so that you can often see outside, to connect with nature and back to the campus when walking between buildings or when waiting between classes or for a concert. We've designed a suite of related performance spaces, and these spaces are designed to provide visually warm, comfortable environments in which to make music, to listen, and to record. While these spaces are designed entirely with acoustics in mind, I believe that what we see in these spaces contributes to how we hear. And on the outside, to respect the context and the scale of the core campus, we have broken up a large program into components so that the school appears as several buildings. We've responded purposefully to a corner site and improved the old view from the south of a loading dock to create an entrance and reveal the tower of Middlesex College beyond. To respect neighboring buildings, we've used materials that are sympathetic and have composed them to reflect and contribute to Western's strong campus architecture. We've designed to allow for growth and look forward to the day when 2 stacked classrooms complete the design of the school on the end of this block. I've recently retired. It's surprising how often I'm asked to reflect on the life in architecture in London and about the favorite building I've designed. Architects often respond by saying the next one. So now there are not so many next ones, and I can comfortably say that your Don Wright School of Music here at Western is, for me, that building. Thank you.
Thank you, John, for your words and reflection. And now, Chad Lowes, with his collaborative pianist, Melanie Kincaid, will delight us in his rendition of Cole Porter's The Tale of the Oyster.
I get on the piano, but bad things would happen. Down by the sea lived a lonesome oyster, every day getting sadder and moister. He found his home life awfully wet and longed to travel with the upper set. Poor little oyster. Fate was kind to that oyster we know, when one day the chef from the park casino saw that oyster lying there and said, "I'll put you on my bill of fare." Lucky little oyster. See him on his silver platter, watching the queens of fashion chatter, hearing the wives of millionaires discuss their marriages and their love affairs. Thrilled little oyster. See that bivalve social climber feeding the rich Mrs. Hagenheimer. Think of his joy as he gaily glides down to the middle of her gilded insides. Proud little oyster. After lunch, Mrs. H complains and says to her hostess,
"Oh, I've got such pains. I came to town on my yacht today,
but I think I'd better hurry back to Oyster Bay." Scared little oyster. Off they go through the troubled tide, the yacht rolling madly from side to side. They tossed about till that poor young oyster found it was time he should quit his cloister. Up comes the oyster. Back once more where he started from, he said, "I haven't a single qualm, for I've had a taste of society, and society has had a taste of me." Wise little oyster.
Join me once again in congratulating and thanking our students for sharing their artistry today. And this brings us to a close of the official opening of the building. Bob Wood, Jeff Stokes, and I will now frame our hard hats and say thank you. To the members of the audience, thank you very much for coming today and sharing with us our celebration. I invite you now to sign up for a tour of the building if you've not already done so. They will commence in about 15 minutes. Rachel Condi, our communications and marketing expert, is the contact person, and we have students who are more than willing to show you around our building. Enjoy refreshments and to the music by one of our student jazz combo, Jonathan Bouchard on saxophone, Henry Cobb Howes on keyboard, Andrew Costi on string bass, and Josh Milligan on percussion. Thank you from the bottom of my heart for coming today.